Good afternoon and welcome to UBC's weekly news roundup with me, Moureen Babirye. It is the 14th of December 2025. Let's get into our news. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has continued to mobilize communities to desist from illegal and destructive fishing practices, particularly those targeting immature fish, warning that such actions threaten one of Uganda's key economic sectors. While campaigning on Saturday in Chikube district, President Museveni reiterated the need for stricter regulation and responsible use for the country's water resources to safeguard livelihoods and national revenue.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has campaigned in Chikube district on Saturday 13th December 2025. The evening rally has been held at Kizira Fumbi Secondary School grounds. In Chikube, incumbent Museveni was accompanied by leaders Aneta Ntamo, Prime Minister Robin Nabanja, and Engineer Jonada Simwe.
Allow me invite you speak.
But the most pressing issue here is the encroachment in Bungoma Forest. You may need to look at what to do on the issue of Bungoma Forest. Your Excellency, a number of people were evicted from Bukinda, and these people need to be resettled. Your Excellency, the resettlement should be done for these people to get where to stay, or else, as of now, they do not have where to stay.
Chikube is a district which was established in 2018.
Uchenza President, abantu banubona bokurabona, ba Chikube kana abantu bayizire. A district yate rinkoto mono, tukusabo tuogero district endi ya Changwali, otusalide mamasaza.
Bitatu Uganda yona elumbusingi elunitafari na mbemu.
Pillar number 2 of the NRM manifesto is about economic infrastructure, of which for Chikube candidate Museveni is pleased about the visible progress in the area in these fields.
Chikube, I can say this in English, is one of the few districts where all the sub-counties have got electricity up to the district, the sub-county headquarters.
Museveni has also acknowledged the district's performance in the health sector.
Amagomora Gona, Gaina, Health Center 4, over Health Center 3.
While addressing Chikube district, President Museveni re-echoed the need to practice better fishing methods as many homesteads depend on this economy.
The issue about the fisheries
ensonga y'obusohi ey'ennyanja
is first of all to stop bad fishing, catching the young fish. Secondly, attacking the breeding parts of the fish breeding parts of the lake. So, we must stop catching of young fish, then also stop don't go to the breeding areas.
Museveni says there is also need to limit the numbers of the fishing community to avoid overstretching of the water bodies.
Then also, even if you are fishing well, there must be a limit to the numbers. How many people are allowed to, even if they are fishing well, how many should be allowed to fish? So that's what we are discussing with the elders.
According to the president, the fishing sector of Uganda is a rich one if well managed. The campaign trail of Chikube ended by President Museveni receiving converts from the National Unity Platform Party.
Museveni oye! Chikube oye!
Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Thank you, Robert, for that report. Now, blending African traditional style of governance with modern governance systems is taking center stage in Makerere University, where scholars and policy makers have gathered to rethink Africa's democratic future. The symposium brought together voices from across Africa and beyond to explore how inclusive, community-rooted governance driven by women and the youth can strengthen democracy, peace building and sustainable development across the continent.
Sincere appreciation goes to you, Natsuke Mai.
Their story, their history, they probably get lost. And that's why I'm saying that people, when they're talking about African style of governance, they're just talking about what they are seeing within Africa. I think it should be important for us to revisit, to rethink, and ask ourselves, but where did we go wrong? Because the reason why we are talking about this is because probably things are not working out as expected. And I think we should ask ourselves, where did we go wrong? What is it that we are missing? Why are we even talking about inclusivity in the first place when it was there originally? So given that inclusivity was there originally, it becomes important that we learn lessons, that we get to understand how the Africans did it before they got distorted.
We all agree that the numbers mean that they effectively will be the future of our countries. But how do we manage to get them from just sitting at the table to being able to make decisions? And so far, it seems that we have created some pathways or discussed some pathways. And one of the pathways is structural, that yes, get the quotas, but beyond getting the quotas, make sure that it is followed up, that when they say youth, 40, 50-year-old doesn't enter and pretend to be a youth, that is actually a youth.
Of advocating for other young people outside there who are not in the spaces, who are recent graduates, who do not have what to do, and let them know that there are opportunities.
The Ugandan government has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening regional cooperation as Kenyans in Uganda gathered to celebrate Kenya's 62nd Jamhuri Day in Kampala. The event highlighted the importance of unity, collaboration and shared development goals between the two neighboring countries for a prosperous East Africa.
As Kenya celebrated their 62nd years of independence this week, Kenyans who live in Uganda gathered in Kampala to celebrate this day in a vibrant ceremony. During this event, Ambassador Joash Mangi, Kenya's ambassador to Uganda, reflected on Kenya's historic journey to independence, praising the resilience and unity that have shaped the nation's progress.
62 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, Kenya attained its independence. And it was not a walk in the park. It was a struggle. But the Kenyans, gallant sons of Kenya and daughters of Kenya, stood firm, fought for independence, and as I said, it was not a walk in the park.
He emphasized the importance of strengthening Kenya-Uganda relations, especially in trade, security and cultural exchange, calling for greater collaboration to advance shared development goals.
Allow me to state that Kenya has embarked on a very ambitious and wide-ranging infrastructure expansion program with a central focus on upgrading the Northern Corridor as our region's most important transport artery, ranking the port of Mombasa to Uganda, Rwanda, South Sudan, and the broader Great Lakes region.
As the chief guest, Minister John Mulimba, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, in charge of regional affairs, highlighted the significance of regional integration within East Africa. He commended Kenya's achievements since independence and reaffirmed Uganda's commitment to working closely with its neighbors to promote peace, stability, and economic growth.
Uganda and Kenya over the decades nurtured a robust and evolving development partnership, one that is grounded in East African community cooperation, political dialogue, mutual trust, and shared priorities.
Minister Mulimba also urged joint efforts to address common regional challenges through unity and cooperation. The celebration was a strong reminder of the deep cultural and economic ties between Kenya and Uganda. Both leaders encouraged expanding partnerships in education, tourism, and infrastructure development. Wadulo Arnold, Mark, UBC News.
Thank you, Mark, for that report. Now, Makerere University has proudly launched 5 new books showcasing the rich academic and cultural contributions of its scholars. During the launch, they called upon Ugandans to focus on education as a key driver for national development and social transformation. This milestone reflects the institution's commitment to advancing knowledge and promoting diverse perspectives in Uganda and beyond.
The reason that we are here today is to launch our outputs of the publications this year. I think you heard of a book that is targeting our teaching, the competence-based curriculum, but we are talking about it in the university setting, and all the other books are a product of the research that has been carried out in the communities. So the books that you see are speaking to us about what is in the community, and it is our role as academicians to bring these voices out and also to let the public know about what's happening. But also one of the critical things that we as academics do is to publish, because if we don't publish them, we are not talking. It is through these publications that we improve our teaching. All the books that you saw there, we use them in our teaching.
That we have for reading culture, but now being layman's choose, we have innovative ways of bringing out some of these things that are in those books that have been launched to the wider community. For example, if some of the works that are published can be used in schools, it's one way of encouraging the young ones to read, or even the students they teach in their college to use some of the pieces of knowledge that are in those books as some of the reading materials. So by doing that, you are encouraging your own students to read the books, not keeping them on the bottom of the shelf.
So we are responding to our own challenges from within, and you had some of the journals that are being launched. Many of our people cannot access the journals that we publish in abroad.
I think, Mark, press what you're doing, do even more. Let's have our power back to actually say and create knowledge about ourselves and the world. And also reducing that anxiety about high-impact journals, which translate into northern located journals.
From Kampala, we take you to Kisoro, where the Forum for Democratic Change presidential candidate Nathan Nandala Mafabi has expressed disappointment over government reluctancy to support tourism sites in Kisoro district. While holding campaign rallies in Kisoro and Rwanda, Mafabi said that in this region, if people trust him with their vote, he will ensure that tourism roads are constructed, plus constructing more hotels. At a rally at Chitimba Market, Kisoro Town, Mafabi promised to invest in small businesses with seed capital so that market vendors are able to sustain their businesses.
For tourism now is a big market for our country. The country which is benefiting from tourism in this region now is Rwanda. We have the best, and the people who should be able to work around to ensure that we have a better infrastructure. Chigezi needs only to do these roads, these tourism roads. Chigezi only needs to improve the transport method by air here. We can make that trip be busy by bringing flights to come here, by tourists to come instead of going by road. Of course, there's a leakage. But then also what will come about, when you do improvement here, the accommodation must be improved. I have seen there, we have accommodation, yes, but the cost of these hotels are too high. Yet if you want to attract business, you make your costs fair. In Rwanda, the hotel room is cheaper than our place here because we don't have, and people prefer to go to Rwanda because of that and even the infrastructure. Rwanda is our younger brother. We believe that we can work together and make sure we have our infrastructure here. We have hotels. If you have seen, the biggest reserve for forests for the tourism is on the side of what? Uganda, which we should really use and earn. And when we do that, our people here, the people around the Kisoro and whatever, will be able to earn money and fight poverty.
Now, as we enter into the festivities, construction in Uganda tends to rise. In the painting sector, many are refurbishing their homes, giving them a special look. Plascon Uganda concluded its Paint and Win campaign. Here, millions in shillings were won, motorbikes and tuk-tuks. Plascon Uganda believes lives have been transformed. We have a report.
Because it's my first time to win. I didn't expect it, but today I'm jubilating because in my business I was missing this motorbike. But right now my work is going to move very fast because I've got a bike.
That you're getting people from across the country buying the product, participating in the promotion. It tells you that people are choosing quality over, even price or any other barriers. That's number one. But number two, we've also seen a lot more participation from even the smaller hardwares. Previously, would have a dominance of hardwares within Kampala, taking the lion's share. This time around, the hardwares up country have done a lot better, and they've had a lot more participation. It also tells us that, one, there's a lot more business happening across the country, whether it's because people have had better harvests this year and therefore they have more spending power, but also because people are doing a lot more construction. So it's a testament to the fact that the construction industry across the country is growing, not just with the support of government on large infrastructure projects, but also small individual projects.
In other news, a former woman member of parliament for Rukunjide district has joined the growing list of national resistance movement supporters campaigning for President Yoweri Museveni ahead of the general elections. Anna Nuwagaba Tumuramye has been mobilizing city residents, urging them to re-elect the president, whom she describes as a leader for all Ugandans.
A senior supporter of National Resistance Movement, Anna Nuwagaba Tumuramye, has urged city residents to vote President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in the upcoming general elections.
So I have a reason as to why I'm supporting him, because I grew up seeing him as the president, and really I have no regret on why I shouldn't support him.
Speaking during a mobilization drive in the city, the former woman member of parliament Rukunjiri district said President Museveni remains a leader for all Ugandans, regardless of political affiliation. She urged that re-electing him would help protect and consolidate the gains made in the peace, security and economic development over the years.
I'm also protecting the gains. I'm into cocoa growing, and this is the crop that I introduced to the people of Rukunjiri to grow. Plus coffee growing, as the government is also encouraging us to grow coffee. I also brought in cocoa growing, so I'm protecting the gains.
Nuwagaba has taken her campaign to the streets using vehicle branded with posters of President Museveni to rally support among urban voters. She called on citizens to turn up in large numbers on polling day and make what she described as a safe choice for the country's future.
So driving this car through those opposition areas, especially Kawempe, where you say, my people say yes, turine Muzei asigare kumein. So I feel so proud that my car can also do advertisement or a kind of mobilization for him.
President Museveni is one of the 8 presidential candidates cleared to contest in the forthcoming presidential race as political activities continue to intensify across the country ahead of the elections.
Relatedly, the head of public service and secretary to the cabinet, Ruth Nachobe, has commended the NRM government for the significant achievements realized under the 2021 to 2026 manifesto. Her remarks were conveyed by Haj Yunus Kakande, secretary in the office of the president, during the presentation of the report on the performance of the NRM manifesto held at the office of the president in Kampala. We have the details.
The National Resistance Movement, NRM, convened a validation meeting for its 2021-2026 election manifesto, bringing together senior officers, permanent secretaries, officials from MDAs, party leaders and stakeholders from across the country. The meeting aimed to finalize the party's strategic priorities and policies ahead of the upcoming general elections.
Regarding infrastructure development, the government procured and distributed road equipment, 14 local governments, and the equipment procured included the wheel loaders and the graders, among others, to form a road, what we call a road unit. But of course, I have to mention here that not all municipalities have these road units, and the Ministry of Works continues to engage with the Ministry of Finance, and similarly, the Ministry of Finance is committed to provide funds to ensure that every municipality has these road units.
During the session, participants reviewed key policy proposals, discussed development goals, and provided feedback to ensure the manifesto reflects the aspirations of Uganda across all sectors, including health, education, infrastructure, security, agriculture, and youth empowerment.
The security forces have been able to ensure that our borders are secured, and the incidences of cattle rustling, cattle theft, which were rampant in Teso, Lango, and Karamoja, which have greatly reduced. Recently, we also had the relocation of the Balalo, especially from northern Uganda, and disarmament and anti-stock theft operation, especially in Karamoja.
The NRM 2021-2026 manifesto aligns with the National Development Plan 3. According to the director of the Manifesto Implementation Unit, Willis Bashasha, tremendous progress has been registered.
Affordable capital, and they can be able to invest and then around a few things. That's when the government wants to have all the roads done, the infrastructure, so that goods and services can move better from one part of the country to another, even across borders. You have seen us, I think as a government, even if we have taken an initiative of saying, let's even do some roads in Congo.
Meanwhile, Hajinu Kakande, secretary in the office of the president, who represented the head of public service, Ruth Nachobe, highlighted government efforts in implementing key manifesto priorities, noting progress in education, health, infrastructure, and socio-economic development.
809 commitments targeted for delivery by 2026. By end term, overall performance had improved 87% with 54%. That is 434 commitments achieved, 36%, 208 ongoing, and 10%, 87 not implemented.
Nachobe further provided a detailed account of manifesto performance, highlighting milestones achieved and areas earmarked for further improvement.
This report not only highlights our achievements and challenges encountered, but also district's critical lessons and proposes structural and institutional reforms necessary to further and strengthen service delivery and governance in the year ahead.
I'm Evan Joko and Kenneth Tanaba for UBC.
In more news, the Attorney General has urged staff at the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs to embrace teamwork, high performance and personal wellness as the ministry prepares for a more demanding 2026. He was speaking at the ministry's end-of-year workers' retreat held at the Commonwealth Resort, where he represented the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, who was away on official duty.
The retreat was convened to review the ministry's performance, equip staff with stress management skills, and strengthen collaboration across departments. Officials reiterated that the ministry underpins government's operations by managing public estates, offering legal advice to state agencies, and supervising key justice institutions countrywide.
So for every Uganda shilling lost by our clients in a case, you managed to win cases worth 132. So that is the ratio. And this translates into a success rate. This translates into a success rate of 85% of all cases filed against governments.
The Attorney General reminded staff that poor performance directly translates into delayed services for citizens and slows the entire justice system, calling for a culture of accountability, timely delivery, and excellence.
But also, at meetings like this, it's important for us to know those who have failed to perform. I keep telling people that it is wrong and is unfair for a person who is part of the team not to carry his weight and hang around the building like he's part of the team.
He proposed that outstanding staff be formally recognized through awards and promotions to motivate higher productivity and reinforce positive work ethics. Participants later took part in a guided session on mental health and stress management, with facilitators encouraging workers to rest, recharge, and seek support when overwhelmed so they can serve the public better.
When you have loans that you took, when you have promises and commitments of money, and the money is not there, what do? You put your brain on tension.
The ministry reported milestones such as operationalizing 5 regional offices and securing approval for new organizational structures, while acknowledging persistent challenges including understaffing and wage constraints. Leaders assured staff that concrete steps are being explored to address these gaps in the coming year. Wadulo Arnold Mark, UBC News.
Still relatedly, the National Water and Sewerage Corporation has concluded its annual staff party held to appreciate employees for their dedication, resilience, and service throughout 2025. The event brought together staff from different departments to reflect on achievements, challenges, and lessons learned during the year.
This celebration was officiated by the guest of honor, Father Joseph Mary Seruga, representing the Archbishop of the Kampala Diocese. In his message, he encouraged staff to embrace gratitude, reflection, and responsible thinking, noting that recognizing goodness strengthens both personal growth and institutional success.
We were all there on the 1st of January 2025. It was even a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. And on that day, none of us could proudly say, I have begun the year, I'm definitely sure I will end it. We all began the year assuming, wishing, but who began this year with a certainty that we'll get to this day? None. And here we are, dear friends, in December, alive and kicking. Praise the Lord.
Staff members, including long-serving employees and newly recruited personnel, were acknowledged for their contribution to improving water and sanitation services across the country.
Could there be any who's joined National Water Sewage Corporation exactly this year? There is at least one. Oh, can we honor her, please? Where is she? You see, so is the size, but she will pick up.
The event also highlighted the importance of experience, teamwork, and continuous learning in strengthening service delivery.
So there are many things which have happened during the year for which we want to say thank you to God. Apart from those other things of being together and so on. But it did not go without challenges. We have had challenges. But the challenges should give us a reason to do things better. That's how we do things. And we are praying the new year. As we enter into the new year, he gives us also the wisdom.
National Water and Sewage Corporation staff left inspired and motivated to continue serving the nation with dedication, professionalism and gratitude as they look ahead to 2026.
I know it is only 348 days of the year we have lived, so I congratulate all of you, my colleagues. You are all my colleagues, to have gone through these wonderful days. Yes, there's been some agony, but there have been also successes, as Engineer Mayo has pronounced. Well, the MD...
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Thank you, Kaye, for that report. Now, a transformational wave is sweeping through Uganda's fishing communities as the NutriFish Plus project, in partnership with Makerere University, empowers women and men with modern value addition skills. The initiative, valued at 2 billion Uganda shillings and running up to 2028, is equipping small-scale silverfish processors with improved technologies such as solar tent dryers and raised drying racks, helping them move away from traditional ground drying methods that compromise quality. According to Ms. Nelly Badaru, the project's gender expert, these innovations not only protect fish from contamination, but also boost market demand by delivering cleaner, nutrient-rich products. She says the program builds on gains from the FAST fairs, with a strong focus on better processing, marketing, women's empowerment, and expanding alternative livelihoods.
To give us some specificity of those small fish, because I'm one of the victims of saving those small fish, that it's my taboo, but I don't know it. There are several.
The first benefit I've got from being a fish processor, first of one, is popularity. I've become popular because of the silverfish. Not only that, but even the income. It has increased the income. I've managed to educate my kids. Even the standard of living at my place, at least has improved. Even money cannot miss out of my pocket in a day.
Now, what we're doing extra is to scale up the good things which happened in the first project. But also we have added one thing, because we're looking at improving technologies, we're looking at improving marketing, processing and marketing, we're looking at women empowerment, we're looking at alternative livelihoods. Because as you know, we all know about climate and the declining resources, even in the water. So we don't want them to just focus on fish alone, but also to focus on, to include other alternative livelihoods, just in case the weather changes, that they're not going to go down, that they can be afloat. So in NutriFish Plus, we have our outcome 4 will be looking at alternative livelihoods.
In more news, farmers in Kaduba village, Luabiata sub-county in Nakasongola district have lauded the NRM government for coming to their rescue with an irrigation project that has enabled them carry on with their agricultural activities throughout the year. Now, the farmers have made their recommendation while welcoming a delegation from the Ministry of Water and Environment that had visited their village for an update working tour to find out how the area farmers had benefited out of the water for agriculture production irrigation project, which the ministry extended to the rainfall-stressed area in 2024 through Nexus Green Limited.
Gibadde gibalaga season eno nga tegirina bibala byegiteekako kakati gitandise okumulisa era gitaddeko n'emikyungu emirala emito kakati gyeyagala tegikyamanyi musana era ekyo tukyebaliza gavumenti ya President Museveni ne Ministry ya Water.
Obulamu bwaterera ebirowoozo byakkakkana ebyokulya tubirina mu budde bwabyo kuba tufukirira ne tujjamu ekyokulya tufukirira ne tutunda ne tufuna akasente ne teeka ku ssomero abaana ne basoma.
The communities here used to suffer from prolonged drought where they didn't have water for irrigation. So they used to suffer from climate change, the effects of weather changes. But now, when the ministry intervened and brought this irrigation scheme, like you've seen across the fields, there's a lot of harvest. Farmers are happy. They are picking a lot of produce from the village throughout the year. And also to show the entire country that the story which you see here is happening across the country in all our regions, where about 450 small-scale irrigation schemes and domestic water supply systems have been constructed by the Ministry of Water and Environment through the contractor Nexus Spring. So the picture you see here is what is in other selected areas across all the regions.
The mode of irrigation we are using is a laser spray, and how we schedule, we 16 cubic per hour. Given the 40 cubic of storage, we hope to irrigate 2 blocks at the same time. That's for a given time of 1 hour. And with that, you can sequence in a day. This system can irrigate up to 3 acres in a day. Then over time, within a week, at least you can see we have covered at least most of the 12.5 acres.
Candidates contesting parliamentary seats in Kampala Central and Nansana Municipality continue to canvass for votes, appealing to voters to entrust them with leadership as voters urge aspirants to fully commit to their pledges.
As campaigns intensify across the country, voters in Kampala have urged the candidates to deliver on their promises and provide effective service if elected. Abraham Luzi, an aspirant for the Kampala Central Parliamentary seat, says the campaign process is progressing well, citing his use of both the social media and mainstream platforms.
The message has reached out to so many people, and we are saying even the government should adopt the same. There is no need of loitering around the country looking for votes. We are also imparting into the population that it is their cardinal objective as serious citizens to look for information that is valuable, evaluate it, compare, and even choose the right leaders.
He says through social media, radio and television appearances, he has been able to engage a wide range of voters.
We are saying people have embraced our message, and I am saying stay at your workplace. At least follow from our social media pages. Follow any information right from TVs and all other platforms. Don't leave your workplace and keep loitering with politicians. After all, they will not pay you. So we are saying as well, say no to post-election violence, saying there is a lot of borrowing, unnecessary borrowing and servicing of loans in these financial years all time. We are saying enough is enough.
Luzi has also urged the government to lift the Facebook ban imposed years ago, while putting in place proper regulation.
Saying it is a shame we have advised the president and this government to close Facebook. It is a shame that you also use it backdoor using the virtual networks. It's a shame. It is high time you understand that internet is a human right and access to internet. Ladies and gentlemen in government, we call upon you to open up Facebook but regulate it strictly.
Luzi is contesting against NRM Zimisa Kabanda, NUPS David Lewis Ruongoya, PFF's Abdallah Walangalira, FDC's Farouk Minawa, Moses Muhanji, Susan Kushaba among others. Meanwhile, Joseph Musoke, vying for the Nansana municipality seat, outlined his priorities if elected.
Said health is very poor. Education is very poor. If you look at the sanitation, look at where you are. These Vuveras shouldn't be there if we had capable leaders. I think one would say a parliamentarian a member of parliament shouldn't talk about Vuvera, but that is a leader. A leader must be anchored within the population. He must have that touch with reality, what is exactly happening on the ground.
Musoke says he is best positioned to address the concerns of residents in Nansana municipality.
Being forced to stand, given the circumstances, I find that this place lacks representation. So I thought we should come out and bring out what is lacking the place has a lot of challenges.
He is contesting against Nupsi Zambali Blasio Mukasa, NRM's Idi Musoke Matovu, Florence Chintu, Stephen Kawesa, PFF's Harold Kaijia, among others. Amwai Vanjuko for UBC.
Thank you, Ivan Juko, for that report. In more news, the government, through the Ministry of Health, intends to expand laparoscopic services nationwide at an affordable cost due to its numerous benefits. This was revealed by Dr. Charles Olaro, the Director General at the Ministry of Health, during this year's annual general meeting of the Association of Laparoscopic Surgeons of Uganda, held at Sheraton Hotel in Kampala.
Laparoscopic surgery, also known as keyhole surgery, is becoming increasingly available in Uganda, with several public hospitals offering this minimally invasive technique. Hospitals such as Mulago National Referral Hospital, Chibuli Hospital and Uganda Matters Hospital Rubaga have adopted laparoscopic surgery for procedures like hernia repair, gallbladder removal and some cancer treatments.
It can be done without having to make a big cut by making the keyhole opening on the abdomen. So you don't have a scar. 2, the pain is much less, far less than when you cut. And then 3, you stay for a short time in hospital. So the cost is lower because you go back home to your job. Instead of staying for a whole month without going back to work, you can stay for 2 weeks and return to work.
Despite its benefits, laparoscopic surgery faces challenges in Uganda, including limited equipment, a shortage of trained surgeons, high costs, especially in private facilities, and limited access in rural areas. In a bid to promote the appreciation of this type of surgical care, the Association of Laparoscopic Surgeons is raising awareness about minimal access surgery as the standard of care. The association is also advocating for training and skills transfer to medical practitioners across various specialties and ensuring affordable access to necessary surgical equipment.
So we advocate for the government to equip all the district hospitals. The district hospitals should be able to get equipment for minimal access surgery. 2, the government of Uganda should ensure that through the curriculum that is being approved by the National Council of Higher Education, minimal access surgical skills are part of the curriculum for specialist gynecologists and surgeons. It should be a basic training.
Fortunately, the government and its partners are working to improve access to laparoscopic services.
Currently still limited within Kampala, but we want to see how it gets rolled out into up-country. Because many other people are actually going out of the country for this surgery. So and this surgery can be done from here at even a much more cheaper cost. So really that we need to have this information published, shared, and so that we can be able to circulate it for public consumption.
Dr. Olaro addressed members of the Association of Laparoscopic Surgeons of Uganda at their AGM held at Sheraton Hotel in Kampala. At the event, several laparoscopic surgeons were recognized for their outstanding contributions to the promotion of minimal access surgery.
Dr. Kigundu John Spire, for his inspirational commitment to training and mentorship in minimal access surgery skills in Uganda. Forever in our memory.
Jethro Kasaiji, Dokas Kimono, UBC News.
Relatedly, Gulu College of Health Sciences has commissioned a modern dental skills laboratory, now ranked as the second most equipped dental training facility among all health training institutions in Uganda. The facility was unveiled during the institution's 11th graduation ceremony, highlighting government efforts to strengthen health training and produce competent professionals for both the local and international markets.
Majority of emergency surgery cases in Uganda are trauma, with head injuries and limb fractures topping the list. In such cases, the victim loses memory, yet as medical personnel, saving life is at most times their main calling. Presenting the study findings and recommendations Recommendations to key stakeholders at Makerere University College of Health Sciences, Dr. Olivia Chituka, herself a victim of litigation, appealed to decision makers to address the gaps identified, such as language barrier, disclosure of risks, to ensure improved surgical outcomes for both the patients and the surgeons.
The fact that you can be sued at any time, it drove me even more into trying to find out, and one of the areas of being sued most is in emergency care. And that is why I was driven to try and find out about what happens, what are the areas that cause litigation. And many of them centered around lack of consent to what is being done. And so, yes, I have been sued before, but it is one of the things that also drove me to trying to study more about consent.
Professor Nelson Sewankambo noted that the findings can only be beneficial to community if the concerned parties implement the recommendations.
So you may be able to implement policy, you may be able to influence practice. Just like I think we were here this morning, how being as we are critical ethics.
The study conducted at Mulago and Zambia involved 210 patients from Mulago National Referral Hospital and 170 from Zambia Hospital, respectively.
But then, where is the boundary between somebody being competent and not to have and be capacity to consent for themselves?
In more news, residents of Chebando, Chisalo village in Kampala have received an early Christmas boost after the Ruparelia Foundation donated assorted household items to support vulnerable families in the community. The support is part of the foundation's annual outreach aimed at improving the welfare of less privileged communities, especially those living in slum areas.
In a move to commemorate the charitable legacy of the late Rajiv Ruparelia, the Ruparelia Foundation has donated assorted household items to residents of Chebando in Kisalo. The donation included mattresses, sanitary towels, food hampers, clothes, scholastic materials, and footwear, among others. The organizers say that the gesture is intended to ease the burden on vulnerable families during the festive season.
Merry Christmas! Enjoy the Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you!
During the humanitarian support, the Ruparelia Foundation is also promoting environmental conservation through partnerships with community groups. Annette Kim, a member of the foundation, revealed that they partnered with Kilauli, a Chebando-based group involved in recycling.
We have a personal relationship with the Kilauli community. The Kilauli community deals in recycling of used bottles. And these bottles, as you know, Ruparelia Foundation is part of the Ruparelia group, which runs also the Speak group of hotels. So we have a lot of bottles that leave our hotels, and it is this place that we give them to. We just have to give them to this place, and that's how we save the environment. But then they don't misuse them. They make them into other things. If you saw, for example, the plates that they use for cake, they are made out of those bottles. So we get to clean the hotels, but also we get to have an environment that is clean of used bottles.
Kim noted that the project has enabled many community members to earn a living while keeping the area clean.
Today we've been having a Christmas experience where we have the Ruparelia Foundation visiting our community, sharing a time with our people, also building more collaboration with also what we do in our communities, because they come and give back to our community, give to the helpless, give them to the single mothers. So for us it is a big achievement to have the Ruparelia Foundation come visit our community during this Christmas time.
Residents who have benefited from the donation expressed appreciation to the Ruparelia Foundation for remembering them during the Christmas season.
Thank you so much for this lovely Christmas gift. May God bless you and in abundance.
We are going to have a wonderful Christmas.
These are rare opportunities. We've always seen this on TV, but today we are the ones who are benefiting. Thank you so much, Ruparelia Group. Thank you so much, Mr. Sudhir. We are so grateful.
Beautiful initiative there. Now, law students from across East Africa have renewed calls for closer regional cooperation during a leadership handover ceremony held at Uganda Law Society in Kampala.
The meeting brought together young lawyers to review achievements from the past year and set fresh goals aimed at promoting cross-border legal education and professional practice.
We are just the vision bearers of the Vision 2060, but we are the torch bearers of the Vision 2060, the young legal minds, because you can be sure that by 2060, across East Africa, most of us who are practicing today will have definitely left the stage.
A new executive was sworn in, with Eloise Havi Nionkuru from Rwanda elected as president, Chemtai Leonard Chemleo from Uganda as speaker, and Doreen Daffin Iya from South Sudan as general secretary.
So help me God.
It's both an honor and a profound responsibility that I stand before you as the president of the Law Students Association of East Africa. I would like to start by thanking Uganda Law Society for hosting us.
The students also presented inaugural awards, recognizing Rwanda's President Paul Kagame as the East African Community Regional President of the Year Choice Award, naming the Uganda Law Society as the Best Bar Association, and honoring Advocate Faith Odhiambo as the Legal Personality of the Year. Speakers noted that limited financing slowed down the association's projects since its inception a year ago, but urged the new executive to expand its footprint across the region.
We have an issue of finances. It has been an issue since we are so reluctant to have mandatory subscription for members. But if you search Law Students Association of East Africa, you find out that our website now reads and shows you the protocol, how you can subscribe as an individual.
A keynote address on the role of regional law students in East African integration challenged participants to network more, engage regional courts and bar associations, and use their voices to promote justice and unity.
Your way to Morocco with Uganda Cranes and MTN. Simply buy a Gaga bundle by dialing *100 *0# and stand a chance to win a fully paid trip to Morocco. Gaga your way to Morocco with Uganda Cranes and MTN. Together, our fire is unstoppable. Fire! MTN. Terms and conditions apply. MTN Uganda is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Welcome back from the break. We continue with business. The second phase of the Uganda Vocational and Technical Assessment Board Assessors Training Workshop has concluded at the Uganda Industrial Research Institute in Namamve. The initiative, funded by a 400 million shilling grant from Enable, the Belgian Development Agency, aims to modernize Uganda's TVET system and better align graduates' skills with the industry needs. We have a report.
Uganda Vocational and Technical Assessment Board Executive Secretary Oyesije Onesma says the sector is undergoing a transformation with new training standards and stronger collaboration with industries.
When you got section 30 and 31, I'm just going to read there. You'll see how the training is going to be. You begin with skilling centers, you go to the technical schools, you go to colleges, then you go to polytechnic, then you go to the university. So you go and tell your students that these problems, you know, the problem why we had lost the direction of skilling was that while you are preparing this student, you have to prepare him that at one time, or you prepare him or her, he has to join the general education.
He stressed that graduates should focus on solving everyday technical problems, reducing reliance on costly technicians.
And actually what people want in the field, they are people with skills, not with what? With a lot of knowledge. But they're also necessary. We are not saying the other side is not good. It's very, very good, and it's very, very important. Because usually now, those who know why it is done, that is knowledge. But those who know how it is done, that is skill. But these two distinctions go together. So out of this reform again, we are going to have TVET qualification framework.
Deputy Executive Secretary Ms. Jalia Nasaza emphasized the importance of competence-based training, ensuring students are fully prepared for the workplace.
This competence begins with all of us. So at this point in time, it is a time we should reflect from the training that you had as a trigger to make you think, to make you reflect upon yourself, to make you go and tell others, members, this is what is happening, because we are realigning everything into competence-based.
With growing student numbers and increased industry involvement, Uganda's TVET sector is shaping a bright future.
Abandon the too much theories. Theory is important to know the science behind whatever we are doing, but I think it may not fetch the country money. It may not help us people get gainful employment. However much theory you have studied on electrical installation and so on, but what matters at the end of the day, can you actually wire somebody's house?
This was during the conclusion of the second phase of the Uganda Vocational and Technical Assessment Board Assessors Training Workshop held at the Uganda Industrial Research Institute in Namamve.
And now in our sports news, Uganda is rallying behind the Uganda Cranes through a bold fan-first campaign powered by 3 leading brands, Now Special, MultiChoice Uganda and MTN Momo. The campaign was officially launched at the Nile Breweries head offices in Luzira, signaling the start of a nationwide movement to unite fans as the Cranes head to Morocco for Africa's biggest football tournament. This marks Uganda's 8th qualification for the continental showpiece, rekindling memories of the team's proud football heritage from the historic 1978 Africa Cup of Nations run, where the Cranes finished runners-up after losing to hosts Ghana in the final, to the vibrant appearances in 2017 and 2019. Nile Breweries, through its flagship brand, Now Special, reaffirmed its long-standing commitment to the national team, building on iconic supporter campaigns such as Cranes Namotima, which have historically mobilized nationwide belief and passion for the Cranes. The initiative blends Now Special's limited edition One Nation, One Team, One Beer jersey and fun activations with MultiChoice Uganda's premium Africa Cup of Nations broadcasts and nationwide watch parties. MTN Momo will facilitate seamless digital payments across all viewing events. Together, the 3 brands are delivering a unified fan experience that celebrates football, culture, and national pride.
AFCON. So what we are doing is we are ensuring that we reward the fans with a fan jersey, because we want to ensure that the fans, even those that have not gone to participate in, to actually watch the games in Morocco, we can create for them an experience where they still rally together and support the Cranes from here through the watch parties and at home. So we have created an activation where fans are given the opportunity to win this fans jersey. Just an activation of kicking the ball into goals that are mini goals that have been created for them, and then they're able to participate. All they have to do is just buy 4 bottles of beer, and they immediately participate, and with their friends as well, and they can win the jersey and other goodies.
Let's go! Oh yeah! What Crystal winner 2025?
Thank you so much for those reports, and that brings us to the end of UBC's weekly news roundup. My name is Moureen Babirye. Be sure to catch us in our subsequent news bulletins at 7 p.m. in Luganda, UBC Lero, at 8 and 10 p.m. UBC News Tonight. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
This December, all eyes in Morocco. Africa assemble. All dreams are heading one way.